Dear students, see last time we completed examples of lesson number 10, that is gravitation, and we started exercise numericals. Now last time we have solved up to exercise sum number 10.3. Now we proceed further. Now this is a theoretical question. See, the earth and the moon are attracted by each other. Now see the gravitation force between them. Okay. Now see, we say the earth applies some force on the moon. That also we can calculate. The question is that the moon also can apply same force on the earth. See, we have to answer this question. See, the answer is yes. Okay. Why? Because we have studied in Newton's law, that is Newton's third law, कि action and reaction are equal in magnitude but in opposite direction. See, we know the gravitational force is the attractive force. So let us say F12, we call as earth as 1 and moon as the 2. See, F12 is the force applied by moon on the earth. Okay. Or F21, okay, we can write like this: F21 is the force applied by earth on the moon. So whatever we give nomenclature, we have to follow. So let us say here we say F12 is the force applied by moon on earth. F21, okay, see the force applied by earth on the moon. But see, by Newton's third law of motion, but see the magnitude will be equal. Okay. So whatever amount of force applied by earth on the moon, same force will be applied by moon on the earth. So that is the answer of our question. That is exercise sum number 10.4. Now see our next question is related to same only, this data only. Now see, moon is attracted toward the earth. Okay. The question is why earth do not move toward the moon. Now see, we have seen F12 is F21. Now let us say F upon M. Okay. Now see, the mass of the earth is very large, 30 kg. Mass of the moon, that also can be known to us. Okay. So mass of the earth is large compared to mass of moon. Okay. Now see here, A is the acceleration. See, the mass of the earth is very large compared to mass of the moon. So the acceleration produced by moon on the earth is very less. Is very less compared to acceleration produced by earth on moon. Okay. See, the acceleration produced by moon on the earth is very less compared to acceleration produced by earth on the moon. That's why we can say, see, the earth is not attracted by the moon. So this is the answer of our question. That is exercise number 10.5. Now the question says, why Earth attract the moon, but why don't the moon attract the Earth? Why? Because see, the equation is A is equal to F upon M, that is known to us. Mass of the Earth is very large compared to mass of the moon. So the acceleration produced by moon on the Earth is very less compared to acceleration produced by Earth on the moon. That's why, see, the moon is attracted toward the Earth, but the Earth is not attracted by the moon. Okay, this is the answer. Now next is exercise number 10.6. Now what is the gravitation force between two objects, let us say M1 and M2, given by distance is d, is force. Okay, now see our question. What happens if the mass of the one object is doubled? Let us say first part, mass of one object. Let us say M1 will make 2 M1. So what is the force F dash? G 2 M1 M2 upon d square. Then we can write G into M1 M2 upon d square. So see, when the mass of the one object is doubled, let us say M1 become 2 M2, the force between them will become double. This is the first part. Okay. Second part is if the distance between the object is doubled and tripled. Okay, let us say second part, distance to object is doubled. Let us say I am giving the name as 2a. Say here initially distance was d, now the distance has become 2d. Now see our equation. F dash will be G M1 M2, distance has become 2d now, G M1 M2 upon 4d square. Okay, why the question says the distance has become double. So we can write is 1 upon 4. Now we can see here G M1 M2 upon d square is again F. So if I substitute here, okay, force has become 1 upon 4 time of the initial force. So if the distance between the two objects is doubled, the force becomes 1 upon 4 times initial force. Okay, see there is a second part. Now the third part, see here this also only the distance is given as tripled. Let us say I take as 2b. Now see our equation will become like this. Distance has become, initially the distance was d, now the distance has become tripled, distance has tripled, so that is 3d. So we can write G M1 M2 upon 9d square, that is 1 by 9 G M1 M2 upon d square. Okay, force has become F by 9. So the force will become one upon 9 times initial force. Okay, so this is the second part of the question. Initially the force is F, gravitational force between two objects, mass M1 and M2 separated by distance d. Say F is equal to G M1 M2 upon d square. See the distance will become 3 times. Then the force will become 1 upon 9 times. Now see the third part of the question says the mass of the both of the object is doubled. So here mass was M1, it has become 2 M1, M2 has become 2 M2. Now see the force. F dash G 2 M1 2m2. See, the distance remain the same. Okay, now you can solve. So this will be 2 into 2, 4. Now again, see the g m1 m2 upon d square is f. So force has become 4 times. Okay, so the gravitation force between two objects, let us say m1 and m2 is g m1 m2 upon d square. See, if the mass of the both of the object is double, then the force becomes 4 times. Okay, see next question. Next question. What is the importance of universal law of gravitation? Now we know the gravitation force is one of the fundamental force in nature. See the universal law of gravitation. See the gravitational force g m1 m2 upon d square. So the force is proportional to product of the mass of the object, inversely proportional to square of the distance. Why this is important? Why? Because it can be applied to any object of any mass. Okay, so that is the importance of the gravitational force. Okay, now because of this law, we have been able to explain number of things. Okay, for example, motion of the earth around sun, motion of a satellite, around the earth. Okay, again, see the most basic existence of the earth. Okay, existence of the earth can also be explained, or existence of the life. Okay, also explained by this law. That's why the law is very important. So that is the importance of the gravitation, universal law of gravitation. So irrespective of the shape and size, see, it is depend on the mass, that is the inherent property of any object. So this can be applied to object of any mass. Okay. So and number of phenomena like motion of the earth around the sun, motion of the satellite around the earth, and even existence of the earth can be explained by using this. Okay, so this is about the exercise number 10.7. Now next is, now see the question. What is the acceleration of free fall? Okay, now see the acceleration of free fall is equal to gravitational acceleration see that is value on the surface of the earth is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, so this is about the value of the gravitational acceleration. Okay. Now next question is also theory based. What do we call gravitational force between the earth and any object? Okay, what do we call gravitational force between the earth and the object? See, that we call as a gravity. Okay. Okay. See, due to the gravitational force acting between them, okay, because the earth attracts any object because of the gravitational force, it is commonly known as a gravity. Okay. Now see, the next is exercise number 10.10. Okay, this is also a theory question. Amit buys few gram of gold at the poles. Now we know the earth is not a perfect sphere. It is oblate. It is of the oval shape. Like this, see, there is a small difference of radius, 22 kilometers. See, this is the equator and this is pole. See, radius on the equator is more than okay. Now see, G is GME upon R square. Okay. Now see, the gravitational acceleration is inversely proportional to square of the distance between there. So radius on the equator is more than radius in the pole. So G on equator will be less than G on the pole. Now see our question. See, Amit buys few gram of gold at the pole per instruction of the friend. He hand over the same when meet on the equator. Will the friend agree the weight of the gold? No. See, there will be slightly variation as I told. Okay. G is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Okay. Now on the radius on the equator is more than radius on the pole. So G on equator will be less. Now he has bought gold on the pole. Here radius is less, so G will be more. So weight will be more at poles. Weight of gold less on equator. So as per the question, okay, so it will not show the same weight, so the friend will not agree. Okay, this is a simple question. Okay. Okay, next question. Okay, now next is exercise number 10.12. Now the question says the gravitational force on the moon is 1/6 times that on the gravitational force on the earth. Okay, G on moon okay. Now the question, what is the weight of a 10 kg object on the moon on the earth? Now see exercise number 10.12. Now see the value of gravitational acceleration on the moon is 1/6 times. Okay, 1/6 times G on the earth. Now see the mass of the object 10 kg. What will be weight on the earth and the moon? Now earth is 9.8 meter per second square. W on earth mg. Okay. Mass is 10 kg, 98 Newton. Now see weight on the moon. Why? See the gravitational acceleration is 1/6 times. Okay, so 98 by 6. Yes. Okay, so the weight also will become 1/6 times that on the surface of the earth. So that is nothing but our exercise sum number 10.12. Now next is exercise sum number 10.13. Okay, now see a ball is thrown in vertically upward direction. Now let us say it will be like this. Okay, with a velocity 49 meter per second, or you can say u. Okay, see we have to find out the maximum height. Let us say here the velocity will become 0, h. Okay, now see g is minus 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, now we have studied the kinematic equation of free falling object or the body thrown in vertically upward direction. See here the ball is moving against the gravitation, so that's why we have to take g as minus 9.8. So h or d is v square minus u square upon. Okay, now we know at highest point the velocity will become 0, u is 49. Okay, now this we can solve. Okay, yes, so the maximum height attained is 1 to 2.5 meter. Okay, second part of the question, total time it will take to reach to the earth. Now it is moved, thrown like this, will come back. So let us say time to move from to point of projection thrown in maximum height, let us say t1, and t2 will be t will be 2 times t1. Now your equation v is equal to v0 plus at. See highest point velocity is 0, v0 is 49. Let us say t1. So t1 is 49 upon 9.8. Five seconds. Time is 2 times t1. Okay, whatever time it will take to move up to maximum height, same time it will come to back. So the time to reach to the surface of the earth will be 10 seconds. So here we have to find out two things. First is the maximum height attained, that we have calculated as 122.5 meter, and time taken to reach to the earth. Okay. Now see the next question is exercise sum number 10.14. Okay, a stone is released from the top of a tower of height 19.6 meter. Height is h. Okay. Now it is a free falling. Time we have to calculate. Now see, h or d is equal to half gt square. See, that is a distance covered by a free falling object. 19.6 is 1 by 2, g is 9.8. Okay. Yes, t square we get as 4. So, okay, so when object is allowed to fall freely from a height of 19.6 meter, time taken to reach to the ground is 2 seconds. Okay, see, this is nothing but exercise sum number 10.14. Now, next is exercise sum number 10.15. Okay, now see the next numerical is exercise number. Now, see stone is thrown vertically upward with the initial velocity 14 meter per second. G we have to take as 10 meter per second square. Okay, find out the maximum height. Let us say h is the maximum height. At maximum height, see the stone is moving again the gravitation. So again at the maximum height velocity will be 0. So again equation h is equal to v square minus v0 square upon 2a. Highest point velocity is 0, v0 is given 40. Acceleration is minus 10. Minus 600 upon. Okay. So maximum height attained will be 80 meter. Second part of the question, net displacement. See, it is thrown in a vertically upward direction. Now, see, we calculate the maximum height attained. See the second part of the question, the displacement and the distance covered. See here the body or stone is thrown in vertically upward direction. It will come back to the same point. So displacement will be 0. Why? Displacement is xf minus xi. See, whatever point it was thrown, it will come back to the same point. So the displacement becomes 0. And the distance covered. See, the distance traveled during the upward motion will be 80 meter. Downward journey also cover the same distance. So the total distance will be 160 meter. So this is how we can solve. See, the object is thrown in vertically upward direction with the initial velocity of 40 meter per second. See, g we have to take 10 meter per second square, that is given. See, it is moving again the gravitation, that's why we have to take negative 10. So we have calculated the height or the distance covered. Okay. Now, see, it will come back to the same point. So displacement will be 0 and the distance covered will be 160 meter. So this is about exercise number 10.10. Now see the remaining numericals and the MCQ will take next time. Thank you.